Hello everybody, it is I, the Roguescaper, your paint-covered, costumed fiend. Well, I'm not costumed right now because it's hard to paint in a costume. I don't want to ruin it. But I'm costumed on the inside, which I think is really what matters. But your paint-covered, spooky menace, here to paint this rather terrifying figure. I was back and forth on whether to count this as a Scape-Oween figure, but honestly, a 10-foot tall, floating goat witch that controls and corrupts the minds of beasts does seem appropriately spooky. We have of course applied our zenithal, primarily just to show this better on camera and to bring out these details. It is certainly not needed if you are painting this figure, but it does not hurt. Yeah, so without further ado, let's dive into it. Happy Hallows Eve to all, and to all a hallowed eve good night. So yeah, let's dive right into it. There's a lot of fun little details. That's one of the advantages of it being quite large, is that we don't have to pay as much attention here. We're going to start off by getting actually all these little snake details filled in, so we can be a little bit less tidy with these, and when we kind of do the stuff beneath it. I like the snakes have like phases. They're quite detailed actually. And the goat, yeah, the float goat herself. Welcome, James. Good seeing you. I apologize, all. I was planning on making this really big Revenant video for the end of Halloween. I've been scripting it for a long time. Honestly, I've been kind of caught up in many different things. So I wanted to do it justice, because I'm really liking where it's going. So now, for intensive purposes, it might be a mid-November release. But I had a lot of things kind of that are in editing hell right now that just didn't get released in time. It's unfortunate because October is my favorite month, but it is just a jammed packed month filled with things going on in my life. So I wanted to get a lot more stuff out, but you know, we had the live streams and a couple tutorials, I believe, came out. So I'm happy with that, more than my usual output. And there's always next Scape-Oween, where I can just be spooky whenever I want. You know, Scape-Oween is a matter of the heart, not a matter of the mind, or the calendar rather. We are using burnt red from Pro Acryl, which is in my top 10 favorite colors I use the most, just to line these in. And I'm painting with a Rosemary & Co. size 0 sable blend. This is honestly one of my favorite brushes as well. It's a good workhorse sable. I've put this thing through the ringer and it still has a good point and is holding up pretty well. So I definitely recommend this one if you're looking to get some nicer brushes. But if you just are doing more casual painting, just stick to your synthetics. Yeah, I've been excited to paint this model for a long time. And while we are waiting for some layers to dry, we do have some Fyorlags, however you say it, that will maybe be adding some details. Some classic Scape, which I haven't done in a while, so I thought it'd be nice to include some of that here when I'm back and forth on layers. And Scape-Oween is a year-round event. Yeah, it never ends. It just gets progressively a little bit less scary. I like doing themed and event stuff, but sometimes I've had all these Ember of War stuff just sitting around. I'm like, I want to make some tutorials on these before they become irrelevant. With the new releases, all the new stuff coming out next year, I'm really going to be just focused on getting that stuff out as fast as possible. I get in my my headspace a little bit sometimes. I've been experimenting with some short form content. I don't know if anyone's seen that pop up on your pages, but it's not something I'm used to. So I'm I'm dipping my toe into it because I think there's room for just how do I do this thing fast? That's not a 20-minute video. I'm just putting out these snakes here, so just try a bunch of different things out here. Why I get distracted by myself talking. This is what I painted yesterday. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw me post this. This is a false Hydra that I ran for my D&D players yesterday for our Halloween session, and it was fun. I had fun gaslighting my players for several hours. Good thing about this thing being so big as well is the camera likes to focus on it. Sometimes when things get kind of small, the camera is just like, what is this thing? Yeah, it's quite terrifying. It caused some trauma, but you know, that's what the spooky times are for. Yeah, I had to paint that, like assemble and paint that like an hour before the session started, so it's not the best paint job I've ever done, but I think it conveys what it needs to. That false Hydra thing. I don't know what false Hydra thing you're talking about. I didn't even see one. It was a really fun session. Like, one of my players was like their character is like an investigative journalist, and she has like a feat where she remembers everything that's said, and then she has like notes, and her notes were just discordant with what was she remembered being precisely said, and and I had the advantage that none of my players even knew what a false Hydra was, so they all got to experience it for the first time, which is really fun. And we're just slowly lining out these snakes here. I think the snakes have a name. I think they have a canonical name on Haluchott. I know D&D Scape has controversy, but it'd be cool to see a bunch of those monsters get shelled to your Scape eventually. I totally agree. I honestly think D&D Scape would be better received now if they like redid it. Honestly, if they did like the G.I. Joe method and they just like took a lot of the cool concepts and ported it over and really made it dedicated, gave it its own terrain and, you know, strong synergy in units and with that, I would love to see it return again someday. Because I know Renegade is releasing some D&D games, so they're at least getting their hands on some of that IP, which is nice. Because Wizards doesn't know what they're doing. We can all say, no matter your feelings on Renegade, is that I'm glad we're not with Wizards anymore. Yeah, I've talked about this a lot, but I think D&D Escape would be. I mean, it fits the niche really well. I don't like what that would be tied to generals, but if we can just kind of have them be alignment based or some other division. Or even, you know, just factions, I would be fine with. If we want to do more of like, you know, Red Wizards of Thay and stuff like that. WizKids never knows what it's doing, yeah. Yeah, WizKids has a 28mm D&D license. Yeah. I thought I saw Renegade was releasing, I think it was more of a game than a miniature itself, but I don't know. Like Heist of Waterdeep or something I saw on their page. That, or I wouldn't mind Pathfinder. I'm not super familiar with the Pathfinder lore. I don't play it too much, but I do like the monster designs a bit better. So I'd be happy to experience that. Let's see here, make sure we're staying in focus. Yeah, Wizard knows what it's doing. It always is on a quest to ruin any goodwill it has garnered. Alright, so let's start getting a first layer on this mask area here. I spent a lot of time today doing some testing on oil washes for the first time. I didn't achieve the results I was looking for, but I feel like I made some really good progress. I'm really working on Morrow. I've been asked a lot on how to paint Morrow, and everything I do has kind of been it's been experimental. So I'm trying to get some solidified steps on what to do and how to do it easily. The problem is a lot of the 3D prints, they just don't have the requisite details to really make the wash effect work properly. Some of the bigger ones like Torkulna and Wasaga work pretty well, but if you're doing dividers, they're just kind of a blob. And I'm using drab brown for the face area as well. I'm gonna take a little bit of leather brown. I don't want to start darker. Let's go a little darker with this. I have a bunch of browns on my palette here. This is kind of what our palette's looking like today. A bunch of browns and neutral tones, which I think is gonna be fun to work with. Put it on, wipe it off. Problem I'm having with oil paint, I don't know if I think I'm missing a step, is that I put it on and it just wipes all of it off. It doesn't like do what it's supposed to do. So either my ratio's off or I'm using a wrong wiping implement. I'm figuring it out. Or it could just be that I'm using, literally I found an art set on the side of the road someone was throwing away. Like it was all new in the box. It was like a cheap one from Walmart that had some oil paints in it. I mean, I say cheap, like it was $80 from Walmart. I should maybe invest in a bit more higher quality oil paints. I might have better results. Yeah, let's just do a bit of this. We're gonna use Brigadine Brown from Army Painter and just get a nice base layer. Honestly, I don't have, my speed paint collection is kind of dwindled down. But if you have some speed paints, honestly, that would be the staff area would be a great thing to use it on. Just because it's so small and detailed and textured. You can do probably a single layer. Actually, I think I have some leather brown here I might try to use just to get this dark tone going. Just to get a bit of this, not ruining the details. Do you already have ice trolls to pair with Goat Lady? I have a couple ice trolls, yeah, on hand. Army Painter Rust Effect is perfect for Morrow. I'll have to check it out. I'm keeping a tally of different things I've tried. I've tried some just raw pigments, but it didn't fully. It got a little clumpier, so I think my ratios were off. I've used like homemade. This is actually made with like a medium from Pro Acryl called Noosh that kind of gives it wash-like properties. I've had a lot of success with that, but not 100%, not fully happy with it. But Rust, the problem is I have with Army Painter stuff is it's not fully reductive. Like I feel like it tints it too much. But I will try it out. I'll put it on the list of things I'm trying. I'm like 85% of the way there every one I do. So I like to be at least 90% accurate with things. So I'm like, that last 5% is evading me. Let's see here, I'm just talking for you what I'm doing. Fresh Rust, but I definitely will check that out. Am I thinning it with mineral spirits? Yes, I am, yeah. But I think it's just, my ratios are, I literally just tried doing it today. So it was like, today was my first test with actual oils. And now I'm going to try to, it gave me a good first result, but not great. It was a little clumpy. It kind of, so I think I need to add more mineral spirits and better quality paint, and I think I might get there. And let's see here, what are we doing next? Let's use some black brown and start filling in some details. Alcohol removal, ink removal on your list to try out? I will definitely check it out. I've maxed out my my painting budget for the month, but next time that renews, I will I will be investing in all this and trying it out. You know what? Maybe I'll do something different. I usually make videos of me knowing what I'm doing or have at least an idea. Maybe I'll just do a raw test video. I'll just say, hey, these are all suggestions that I've been told to try out. Let's see if we can figure out tomorrow as I fail. I think that actually might be fun. I've been asked to show more stuff of me messing up, because the videos I post are definitely edited where I cut a lot of the figuring things out. And that's why I kind of do the live streams now, just you see a lot of the internal back and forth I do when I'm painting. But alcohol ink removal, I'll definitely test out. Is anyone doing anything fun for Halloween? I'm dressing up as Snorlax, which I felt like is fitting for my temperament and disposition. My wife is going to be, what is she being? She's being Bulbasaur, her favorite Pokemon. Snorlax isn't my favorite, but it's the onesie that would get here in time for Halloween. And we're just applying this dark tone to really set the base of what things we want to do later on. Take the kids out for trick-or-treat. Yeah, that's the way to do it. I'm fortunate. I have 3 kids, so I get 3 times the candy. As an adult now, I realize my parents were never looking for dangerous things inside my candy. They were just taking all the good stuff before I had a chance. And thus I shall continue the tradition. Like, sorry kids, that Twix and that Reese's is definitely poisonous. I think I see some very sharp objects in there. But these Dum-Dums and Smarties, oh yeah, those are fine. My kids are to the age where they all get to choose their own costumes now. And they have a theme this year. My oldest is a knight, my middle is a dragon, and I mean, my youngest is a dragon, and my middle girl she's a flamingo. She said the knight always protects flamingos from dragons, and we said, that's pretty cute. Can't argue with that. So we're gonna let that dry there. I like a model with lots of little areas to work around. We're gonna get some caramel brown here, and make sure it's appropriately thinned. And we are gonna start adding a sub-layer for our future brighter weights that we'll apply here. Found tampered with stuff. Oh, I'm sure it exists. I'm sure it is a real thing. But I don't know. That's a terrible thing. Who's out? That's some crazy people out there. So I wouldn't put it past someone. There we go. This is honestly one of my, so far, just been my favorite AOA models to paint. It's got the perfect balance of details but accessibility, which is nice. Of course, I haven't hit this area behind the cape, so maybe I'm speaking too soon. But I haven't painted some pirates recently. I'm happy for a little bit wider details. And let's add some drab brown just as an underlayer for these little bony bits here. AOA, definitely make sure that you are painting tiny bones constantly. Mike and Soul this year. That's pretty fun. I'm getting a little bit of wash in this, or not wash to that oil stuff I was working on today. So my brush is red. I don't like that. All right, let me try to clean this off real fast here. Godzilla and Pikachu. Favorites, Rolly Boys were a lot of fun. Yeah, they were a whole bunch of fun to paint. I used kind of a combination of techniques I used some ink and highlights, some pink undertone highlights, just to make it really easy and really pop out a lot, which is nice. And we'll be bringing these bones up here. That almost has like dinosaur skulls on their shoulders, which is kind of cool, or lizard skulls or something. It's Pikachu. These look like it's a jawbone, yeah. I like painting these guys because you get a little bit of sense of the details and the story that don't come through in the pre-painted. I was like, oh wait, this is these are jawbones, as it's like armor plating, which is kind of metal. Hey, Heroscaper, I got my Iron Lich Viscera made in the mail today. And see you planning on your channel. Any plans to do in the future? I do have a Eisenach video that is pinned. Unfortunately, I did record my Iron Lich video. The footage got kind of out of focus and corrupted. So I'm working on getting a new one to paint. I had it during kind of a weird phase of my life where I was just kind of a little busy and wasn't focused on all the videos I needed to make. So I wasn't happy with the footage. But I have painted Scabreth on the Renegade channel that's on my YouTube page, and I do think have a short for the Roly Boys. But no, it's definitely definitely something I want to dive into deeper, because there's a lot of fun little things to bring out in it. I think it's gonna be a two-parter. I want to do one just on how to paint yellow and the flesh tones, and then go into more working on some degradation and edge highlighting, some more advanced techniques. So it's definitely one there. I have a growing list of things I need to get finished. So it's all, I definitely, people asking for it does make me more motivated to go through and do it. So it's a long answer to not Iron Lich exactly, but maybe someday. The biggest thing is that yellow is, I mean, if you're planning on painting it as accurate as the art, yellow is a pain to work with. Definitely recommend that you use, you know, contrast paints or inks just when you use it, and avoid using black if possible. I like to base coat it in like a pink, ranging either from flesh tone to bright pink. You know, the more pink it is, the more orangey yellow it appears. Dry brush with like a warm white, like an ivory color. Let that dry, and then do that yellow contrast over it, and you'll get a really vibrant yellow really fast. All right, what do I want to do next here? Let's just start filling in some more details. And I appreciate all those in the chat. I've been trying to be a bit more consistent, and it definitely helps just having people to talk to. So I appreciate everyone that shows up. It's kind of I haven't really made it an official Thursday. You know, every Thursday I'm painting, but for the most part, keep Thursdays on your open if you wanna hang out. That's usually when I try to do this. Okay, so we're just filling in basic details here. Prime and brown, and it's doing, yeah, brown works as well if you want more of a kind of a good way to build it up if you're using standard acrylics. I did that for the Hellforge video I did for one of the Renegade cons, and I did like how that turned out as well. It gives it more of an ochre kind of off yellow, which I like as well. There's tons of ways to get to the same destination. It all depends on what you want to do. Yeah, let's do a different brown for these legs so it doesn't match. I'm going to use more of a warm brown for the legs. Biggest thing here is just balancing all these shades of brown. You of course can mix brown, just pretty much mix two opposite colors, and you can create brown that way as well. But I just don't want to do that. It's a great skill to have, but I'm lazy. Pumpkin carving right now, that's exciting. I'm really bad at pumpkin carving. Fun fact about me, I'm not, my skills in mini painting do not transfer to carving pumpkins. I've injured myself too many times attempting to do it, so. Are you just carving like the standard jack-o'-lantern, or is it more elaborate? Are you a skilled carvisan? Yeah, I feel like I need one more week of Halloween. I'd be in a good spot. I'm just a little behind on things right now. I'm just like, oh no, it's next week's November. Fortunately, as the months get colder, I do have a bit more time on my end. I work in pest control, so my schedule is kind of limited by the temperature and the bugs. Haunter from Pokemon with a stencil. Ooh, that's really exciting. I am a Pokemon fan. It comes through in some of my paintings and such. Finishing up my shiny Omastar after I painted the standard one. And I got my Slow King gallery here, which I really like. This is one of my favorite ones I've ever painted, just because he's so dumb. And so yeah, I plan on painting one of my my Kitas as Flareon, and I have some other ideas for some as well as they come to me. All right, let's see what we want to do here. Warm brown. I honestly, maybe hot take, controversial take, I think I like Haunter more than Gengar. I think he's a better designed Pokemon, at least aesthetically. I haven't played the ZA yet. I haven't got around to buying it. Just because, I don't know, the graphics look a little off. And I'm not a big fan of Megas. Like, honestly, I'm not, never was a big fan of Megas. So it's not appealing to me. And also, I like the turn-based battle. I'm not into the real-time battle, so it's like, maybe. It's a fair take, yeah. I mean, Gengar isn't bad. I'm not saying Gengar is bad. I'm just saying I like Haunter a bit more. He feels like a ghost. Gengar feels like a little imp guy. Like the design, I think, shifts. Let's see here. Let's get some of that caramel brown, and we're gonna mix that in with a bit of warm flesh here. Just making it off. And we are kind of just sketching out the volume of this thing here. It needs to be a little bit darker. There we go. Skipping ZA, yeah, that's. I might get it eventually if I, have a little tax return or something, but for now it's not super appealing to me. I'm still having fun with Scarlet and Violet. Like, I still have stuff to do in Scarlet and Violet. Big mega fan, but the backlog of those games is getting too long. I haven't finished the last three they released. Yeah, they were pumping them out pretty strong for a bit. I'm actually glad they took a big break after Scarlet and Violet came out, just to actually give me time to play the game. I'm not a big buy game on release day type of person. The really only, well, I say that, but if they do make like a new Smash Bros, I'm figuring out a way to buy a Switch 2 and play that as soon as possible. So, bit of a hypocrite there. Okay, and now we're gonna take a bit of ivory with that warm flesh. Kind of blend that up. These corners here at the edge of our brush, and I'm looking to add a bit of texture to this. I don't want this smooth. Get Fire Emblem games and release. That's pretty much it. My brother-in-law loves Fire Emblem. Like, he's playing emulators of hacked versions of like the original Fire Emblem games and stuff like that. Like, I've never played him, so I don't have an opinion on it. He's always trying to get me to play, and I always don't. Not for any reason. I just I honestly don't play a whole lot of video games. I'm just a little bit too busy at this stage of life. Like, today I was a little just kind of brain fried. I was like, I've been painting a little bit too much, been doing a little bit too much other things. I just need like a mental break. So I just played I downloaded Halo Infinite that I had and just started playing that. You know what, I'll tell you this, it's a lot more fun now than it was on release. It's not terrible. I don't know how I feel about Halo coming to PS5 with no multiplayer, but you know, that 12-year Heroscape draw, yeah, Fire Emblem did. Yeah, that's I'm glad I did that for you. It was pretty like, I'm glad the community kept the game alive, but I'm also glad the game is just doing things that weren't possible before. I've been going to some cons and some tournaments, which I never would have done if the game was dead. I've been a fan of this game since I was 9 years old, and I kept on being a fan, but the moment AOA was announced, I decided I was like, you know what, I want to be a part of the community itself and not just the game, which was a fun jump. Okay, we'll let that layer dry. Halo Renegade will snag the Halo IP, get Master Chief in the Heroscape eventually. I mean, I think it would be a really fun. I think the power level would fit appropriately for Heroscape. I think you could have some really fun stuff. I know that there is a Halo tabletop game now. Like, that's why it makes me think that we won't have Star Wars. I mean, besides obvious reasons, but Star Wars Scape is less likely because there's just so many Star Wars tabletop games kind of fighting each other now that I think if we threw one more in the mix, that it just cannibalize itself. And hello, Bill Flint from the East Coast. Yeah, Flashpoint would need to die first. I painted a couple Legion models before. So fun fact about me, I hate assembling models. As much as I love painting, I do not like assembling. That's kind of why I fell into Heroscape. Is just don't like messing with glue. It's not a transferable skill. I don't have the patience to cut out bits and put them together and assemble and mod and all that kind of stuff. I just want to start painting, like just jump into the stuff I actually do. Pretty good. My Heroscape coming back live here in Canada. Basically, no Heroscape events are happening around here. But maybe that will change. I'm hoping so. I have to drive about 2 hours to go to like big events in my area, so it's a bit of work. I haven't had a lot of success in my hometown. I want to remedy that. I want to get some stuff going, but really we only have, at least where I live in Kansas, there's like one game store that can accommodate. It's not super interested in Heroscape, it seems. It's not like antagonistic, it's just they ran a couple events, but I don't think they were well received by the game store. How do you feel about the price increase with the new releases, if I want to share? I mean, paying more money for things is never good. I'm maybe a little bit less scathing about it than some other YouTubers, just because, one, I mean, being negative about it isn't going to help. It's not. I feel like it's not a thing Renegade can control. You never want to raise your prices on a product that's a little, unstable at this point. Raising your prices on something with an established price is not good economics typically. I get the feeling that it's not like out of greed. So it's out of either, which leads me down a rabbit trail of why do we have the price increases? Is it either out of desperation that Heroscape needs more money per box to sustain itself, or if it's just out of the global economy where it's just all things are more expensive now, and we're just kind of eating that. It's tough because You know, paying $50 for an unpainted box is not ideal. You know, you buy and paint it so you get a good discount. I was 40 was kind of like the limit where I was like, okay, I can do this and still have fun painting and talking about it, but 50 is kind of, you gotta start being a little bit more conscious of what you buy, you know, and it's kind of a trickle down effect, you know, so you're more conscious of what you buy, so you're buying less, and you know, it makes me concerned, to say the least. But I'm hoping the game will stabilize and the world will stabilize and all that kind of stuff. It's just tough. I learned that Heroscape is taxed as a toy for some components, and toys have a different tax rate than games itself, which are already taxed pretty high. So I hope Heroscape can kind of make it through this tough season. And yeah, I don't think Renegade's happy about having increased prices. Like it's you know, it's I'm sure that's a big headache on their part. Because I just don't sense it's greed. It's not like, oh, we can milk the fan base because they'll pay whatever. It's Heroscapers, I mean, balked at the $250 price tag for the box. They knew that raising the prices would create a bit of a stir, but I don't think they had much of a choice. Well, yeah. Uniques only, yeah, for the most part, like, I'm very least just going to try to get one of all the boxes. I never, you know, I don't need 4 or 5 boxes to play. So maybe a bit more off the record, but I do like how a lot of the sorry, just got a message. I do like how a lot of the new stuff is very easy to proxy. You know, you get the revenants, if you have a bunch of the old stuff or the files of the old stuff, you can proxy them relatively easily, and most TOs or official tournament places will, you know, understand. You know, you want to proxy Vipers, the new Vipers, it's possible. So, you know, at least there's some options there for people that just literally can't afford anything. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm hoping that it stabilizes, is really what I'm hoping and praying for. I'd hate for Heroscape to be announced, be brought back, seemingly doing well, and then kind of die before it has a chance to get some legs. But then also you hear the designers talking about how they have plans for 2027, 2028. So I don't know. Except with Deflecto, I ended up with 2 of those. Yeah, I think I ended up with like 3 or 4. I just assembled a bunch of them. My biggest problem I have, honestly, is I don't like how expensive Renegade's shipping is. That's the part that kind of bums me out. It's just like, I don't want to pay $30, $40 for shipping after I pay so much just to purchase the project. So, you know, you want the promos, but you're like, I don't want to. You have to evaluate if it's just better to wait and get the promo without shipping. So that's the part that's tougher for me. But it's just kind of an uncertain time, and it's also just a lot of stuff that's been out. Like, I feel like G.I. Joe is really well done, and I like it. But it is, if you want to invest in both G.I. Joe and Classic Scape, it is harder to do. At least in the release format they've done it in. And I know they treat it kind of separately, but if you're a Heroscape fan like me who will just kind of try to buy anything Heroscape, you know, with the Heroscape label on it, it's definitely kind of, you have to make some decisions. I bought a couple boxes just in case, just to have some stuff to open up for people. And but I didn't buy everything, and I want everything. Fortunately, it's all releasing around my birthday, so it's just all. It's the good thing is you don't need it all at once, you know. So you can just, at least for me, I plan on putting a lot of the stuff on just gift list. So I'm just like, hey, you know, Christmas. Like Christmas this year, I don't really have much I need. Like I already kind of got it all. But Christmas next year, I'll have a long list of like, hey, all these things. If you're looking to get me a gift, you can purchase. Sorry, I'm just monologuing here. What do I want to paint next? I think this is good, right? This is finished. You got G.I. Joe for us. I did get some. I got the G.I. Joe battle box in the very least. I'll definitely be painting some of that, just to do it. Renegade sometimes sends me stuff to review and test out and paint, but I never know if it's coming or not. So it's always. I always try to at least have some stuff to open up for people. It's funny, at least in the content creation sphere. You're constantly racing now that Heroscape content creation is kind of a crowded market. You're definitely racing against everyone else to be the first to announce or show something. So there's a bit of competition there, which is fun. Have you ever painted a classic Marvel Heroscape? I have not. No, I've never felt the need. I did see some like, what's the Shatterpoint for Marvel? Yeah, Shatterpoint is what it is. I saw some of those models I considered painting, but honestly, I just don't like painting spandex. It's just, if you want to like spend a lot of time in spandex, it's not very fun, because you have to make it all shiny and reflective, and I don't know. And then you have to tone the muscle. It's just a different painting technique than. I like more like textury stuff like this staff and all that. There's a lot more you can do with it easily. But I think G.I. Joe will kind of be in that same bracket. Thankfully it has a little bit of like stuff going on with their fatigues. Not even 3D printed. I've never felt the need to. I'm trying to think of anything. Yeah, for the most part, I just don't. I like superheroes and stuff like that, but I've never needed them for a tabletop experience. The problem I have with most superheroes is that they're very like one note for things. Like it's hard to use Spider-Man in your D&D campaign, and it's hard to, you know, they're just too recognizable. And also HeroClix is just so cheap that if I ever did need anything, you know, you can, for 50 cents, you can just grab any superhero you need. But if someone wants me to paint something, if enough people ask for it, I'll do it. I'll paint Incredible Hulk. I don't care. I think Incredible Hulk is the one I would paint out of any of the superheroes, just because muscles are fun to paint. More so than other things. Okay, so he is a two-toned. Let's see, do I have a gray anywhere near here? Spider-Man with Venom colors. That's just Spider-Man. That's just Dark Variant Spider-Man at that point. Oh yeah, I don't want to draw Spider-Man. Drawing all those lines, if they're not molded on, that's just, I don't know, that's, it's a lot of work. But if they released, if people asked for it, I would do it. I would say, yeah, I'll paint Spider-Man. There's an artist I forget the name of who does some really great like Crisis Protocol stuff I've seen that I've watched just to study their techniques. I can't remember the name offhand though, but they did incredible stuff with those models that made me feel inadequate. Oh, yeah, he was the real deal. Like, he composed his own music inspired by Marvel soundtracks for the painting videos. But his painting videos are like 2 hours long, so 2-3 hours long. But no, let me actually take a second and see if I can find their name, because they do incredible work. Oh, it's Sarastro. Yeah, if you're looking for some high quality painting, check out Sarastro's painting. It is incredible stuff. I've learned a lot from watching their work. They do some Star Wars stuff too, which is nice. See, I think if Heroscape shut down, I probably would migrate to some Star Wars Shatterpoint or Legion or whatever. Because I like the models, and I love Star Wars, so I think that's where eventually I would fall. And we are just using a cool gray from Procryl for this horn here. It probably would be good just to learn to paint some more superheroes, just to practice some different techniques, some different lighting and stuff like that. I'm always looking for ways to practice and improve. All right, just get this done here. There's lots of things I'm discovering in this model. I keep it like, oh, okay, we're good here. And then, there's something else. But I like this model a lot, so I'm trying to give it a bit of love and care. Take my time on it. It's a lot bigger than I expected, for sure. It's growing on me, though. Let me get something to drink real fast. I was going to paint the Horror Clicks Headless Horseman tonight. Let me see that. So. I have to look that up. That'd be a fun one to paint. I'd have to completely prime over it and start from scratch, but I don't like painting horses. Horses are just animals with spandex up for skin. Hot take there, but yeah, that's horse, like, they're just really any tight reflective surface. I just don't enjoy painting. And we're taking this cool brown, mixing with that black brown just to create a little bit of natural shading here. But yeah, I'm willing to paint more stuff beyond Heroscape stuff if anyone ever wants that. I'm not just a one-trick pony here. Guess we gotta stick to skeletal horses. Yeah, some skeleton cavalry would be nice to have. All right, let's get some bone tone on the bones. I hope they come out someday. I feel like they I appreciate Renegade is aware of what the community wants, which I think is nice. They have some really good people on the lore and writing team. So many I personally know, so I'm happy with the people there. We're just using bone from Pro Acryl, the bone color, which is a kind of a unique, because like Army Painter Bone's a bit more brown and dusty, and this one's a bit more white and pale, which I like. Like a Ghost Rider cowboy. I'd paint that. My campaign actually for D&D is actually a Western one, so it would have multi-use. With my request, I've tackled at least 3 or 4 different franchises now. Yeah, I've jumped around. You're always like, are you familiar with this? I'm like, no, I'm not actually. I'm familiar with many things, but not a lot of things at the same time. Ghost Rider Cowboy? Yeah, that'd be fun. Ghost Riders in the sky. Now I'm thinking about making this a glowing orb. I don't really know what to do with it yet. And we're using small like dabbing motions for the skull just to really give it a scratchy look. Oh, Pallid Bone's great. Yeah, that's one of the few speed points I use regularly. I just use it so regularly I am out. So we're layering this up old school here. Pallid Bone will make your skeletons look really great, really fast. Now we're just adding these highlights in. Are there any figures of Techesis in her human form? Oh, I gotta check that out. Techesis in her human form. Tiamat. Okay, Tiamat, yes. I was like, I don't recognize that. Let me check messages real fast here. Go. Oh, that turned out awesome. I will, that's awesome. Yeah, I love that. For Chad, I looked at that pumpkin, and the pumpkin is spectacular. Any figures of Tiamat in her human form? I'm sure there's a 3D file for it somewhere. Not official that I know of, at least offhand. I have several files of the Tiamat Dragon proper. I've never gone around to printing because it's this big. Size brush I'm using a size 0, Rosemary & Co. Sable. It's a bit more of a fine-tipped sable brush, just to give us some control over these fine layers, get some of these details in, like these lines and such. I would use it. I'm going to be moving to a bigger brush for the cloak and stuff like that. But there's honestly just so many tiny little details. It's honestly saving me time just to work with them smaller individually. let's make this bone tone just a bit. Let's actually mix this bone with a bit of this warm flesh. I think an important thing to remember about flesh tones is that you can use them for other things besides flesh. I think it's, it took me a long time to realize that for a while. I was like, oh wait, it doesn't have to just be for skin. It's just a color like any other color. Is size 0 bigger than size 3 O brush? Let me double check that for a second, because there's so many standards for brushes. I think size 0 is bigger than, yeah, because those are more fine details, and this is more broad details. Yeah, the painting size is all over the place. Okay. And we're taking this dark brown and just filling in the gaps. That's why we kind of painted this first. We'll have to touch up some of this red, but we would be just layering back over this this brown so many times if we did first. Notice the red wrap in her torso. It's not snakes, but legs are. Huh. Is it something different? I thought it was just like the snake wrapping its way all around, but I don't know. Is it like a vine on her there, or what is it supposed to? Now I'm confused. I guess it's not, because it wouldn't make much sense. Or is it two snakes? I thought it was like two snakes wrapping around, but maybe it's more like vines or something. I was just following the model, which admittedly is a pre-painted, so there might be or something. We'll probably just keep it the way it is, just for color balance. Oh yeah, I wasn't even looking at the card art. Probably should have done that. Yeah, I think the card art is actually helpful if you're painting these, if they actually have the exact pose, because you can kind of see where highlights are and where you can put some more emphasis on things. So definitely look at the card art when you're painting. And we're just getting this underarm area because it's a booger. Chat's slacking today. We haven't gotten out of my chair once. Yeah, chat. I'm actually getting work done today, huh? I'm willing. I have things nearby just in case it happens. My plan is after the kids go to sleep for Halloween, I stay up late with my wife and my sister and her husband, and we're gonna watch Over the Garden Wall, the whole miniseries, late into the night. That's what I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. No kids. Are Dryad beasts evolved into Dryads? Yeah. As Nukatha or Nakatha said, they do seem to have some form of evolutionary ascension. That once they're chosen to be wizards, they gain new forms based off what they do. That give them powers and different abilities and all that kind of stuff. I love to kind of see more of that aspect of what causes Arboreus, I guess, the planet itself, to choose entities. I'm hoping someday we get like a common beast pack to really help the Dryads out, give them more of a competitive presence. Because a lot of factions that were a little like new factions that were lacking got a big boost with the new stuff. I guess Thorman helps the Dryads a lot. Like they work pretty well together, but a dedicated Dryad boost would be very much appreciated. Okay. And we're just taking some of this warm flesh here, just... I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just adding a little bit of residual highlights here. We'll probably tone this down. Some medium beast in the 50 to 80 point range would be nice. Even just a 20 point filler beast would be great. I wonder if they release beast versions of the current Dryads. That would be really interesting. That would be a really interesting way. I love a unmodded like Rakshot or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I think the Dryads have received probably the least amount of love and the new Scape in terms of lore and just competitive presence. Although this figure right here, in certain formats, I think she does really well. It probably has a lot of their plate, but it'd be cool to see them tackle Speedia on the new Heroscape lore. The book they're releasing does seem cool. Yeah. I would love. I think honestly, Renegade needs to bridge the gap between tabletop game and have it have a very niche and strong presence. Like right now, Heroscape's still a little underground. It's a little bit like, oh, I kind of know Heroscape is, but people are still figuring out the game is like back. I would love for it to get more of a cultural presence where we're like, oh yeah, Heroscape. I know that game. I don't play it, but at least I know about it. And I do agree that that could be done through some multimedia projects. I love if they just focused on an animated series and had me direct it. That's my ultimate goal. Is in one of my like high school like script writing classes I was in, or film classes, I wrote a remedial script for like a Heroscape series. You get to do the slow burn on it. Season 1 is just all introducing each character as they're summoned to Valhalla. That's season 1. The last episode is just this huge climactic battle, and that's where it ends. Season 2 definitely we do each master set as its own season, and and then start to build the stakes in the world, and I would love it. Let's see here. What do we want to do? Let's just mess up so far. I think that's a good plan. Gotta keep these eye sockets empty so I can do some fun glow stuff with them later. Probably won't get to that tonight. Oh, yeah, we have a whole backside. I forgot. Let's get to a bigger brush and just get that filled in real fast. The executive producer. Yeah, let me add it. I would love to do that. My ultimate goal is I've always wanted to do some animation project. I can't draw real well, but I would love animation. Is one of my favorite mediums. You know, I'm with one of those people who say animation isn't a genre, it's a medium. You can tell any story that you want in animation. Yeah, I'm a little pretentious like that, but no, I just love it. I wish I was better at it. Honestly, if I can ever get my sister to not be busy, well, I have plans. I want to do some at least animatics and stuff like that for some new kind of Heroscape content. Is my ultimate goal. Some voice acting and all that kind of stuff. Okay, we're just using the bigger brush now. And we're getting the backside down. I do need to work on this cape. I've been avoiding it. Not because it's hard, just because it's... I don't know why, because I wanted to get the hard stuff out of the way first. Yeah, all I'm asking for is a budget of $50 million, and I can make the Heroscape animated series come to life. It will have... I don't want to... Casting voice actors off the cuff is tough. Just because I have a bad memory. For anyone that's watched this channel enough, you know that my memory just kind of spaces out a lot of the times. I just have too many stats memorized that I forget a lot of the details of things that actually exist. Yeah, 50 million is perfectly reasonable. You just gotta not buy the new Heroscape wave, and then and we should all. That's about what it cost, right? Give up coffee maybe for a day too, and then we got it. I do plan on embezzling about half of that. I just can't help myself, but the rest will turn out really well. What's your pick for Sergeant Drake voice actor? Now I'm trying to remember actors. See, the issue I have is with how Sergeant Drake is presented and how World War II soldiers actually were. Because most World War II soldiers were rather young. But as a sergeant, I guess he could be upper 20s, but like, you know, he always has like this deep, like I would want Val Kilmer to voice Sergeant Drake, but I don't even think he's alive anymore. So, someone just with a tenor and a authority, a timbre to their voice. I I have a better live action pick, so Sergeant Drake is the one I have been circling around a bunch because I don't know what I want to do for him fully. I want Emily Blunt as Raylan, though, both live action and voice actress. That's my pick. Adam Driver as Concan. I want Steve Buscemi doing some of the Morrow. I think Idris Elba as Haluchott would be pretty cool. That grumpy resonance. But Drake, I'm trying to think of who voiced. I mean, it's obvious, but you can't make a good movie like Godzilla 1 for 50 mil. Oh yeah. No, I mean, not with the special effects I have in mind and the planned embezzlement. No, no, I love Godzilla -1. No, I don't think you need a high budget for Heroscape. I think it is. Well, let's sit here this year while I think about this. And get a spider going because I did promise one spider. I don't know if I promised. I more suggested it, and I don't want the people to riot. Tom Kenny's got to show up somewhere as a voice actor because he voices everything. Oh, it would be a good voice because he has like fight bad guys kind of voice, you know, like let me think here. He says the old memory banks. I will take suggestions from the crowd, and then I'll agree that's a good idea or a bad idea. Well, you're all asking me to do more than one thing at the same time. That's too much for my mortal bones to handle. Okay, so let's get this spider painted real fast. But yeah, Godzilla -1, top tier Godzilla movie. We're gonna take this ivory that we have on our palette and individually dot in some eyes. That's what I'm saying. If I just had a little bit of petty cash, then I could just get the new stuff. And we're gonna get some black brown for the head here. Where'd my brush go? I'm all discombobulated. Not the female that played Lucifer in The Sandman to play Haluchott. Sandman. I don't think I've seen that. I'm a poser. So we're using this black brown to establish the head here. I think it's the same color as the body, but from the way the wash settles, it does give it a grayish tone. When working with 3D prints, you definitely have to work hard sometimes to bring in the details, as they are often lost in the scans. So you have to do some additional things. Yeah, oh yeah, no one wants me to, well, maybe everyone wants me to release my own wave of Heroscape. Also did the background music guy. Oh, I haven't had Netflix in a really long time. I haven't had Netflix since BoJack Horseman ended. That's the last time I had Netflix. Just because they kept on raising their prices. And now, if we're talking about raising prices, let's talk about Netflix. Yeah, I might steal it from somewhere, borrow it from a friend when Stranger Things releases. Even though I personally don't even care that much anymore, but I mean, it's, you gotta finish it. Where's my black at? Where'd my black paint go? I'm losing my mind here. Need video, yeah, 1 second. Okay. I do have a, like, I love ideas. I love when people say, I want to see this. It motivates me, because half the time I'm thinking, I don't even want to watch this stuff. But if I know someone's like, I have this question that needs to be answered, it does motivate me more. Let me see, where is my blockchain, because now I had it laid out. Aha! We found it. Spooky Scape. You know what? I would love a universal monsters pack for Heroscape. I think that would do really well. You know, have Frankenstein's monster and have some vampire. Like, that would be great. Creature from the Black Lagoon can bond with the gallery. And we are drawing thin black lines to highlight his head. And for the legs, we're going to use chocolate brown from Vallejo, or actually a chocolate brown mixed with warm brown from Procryl. I did previously base these all with a warm brown and a black brown mixed. If I was in Heroscape, what would you pick? Let's say a box of unique squads or heroes of my choice. Interesting. Okay, so set. So usually that's, let's say, two common boxes and a unique box for sake of just identifying the question. And what currently exists, assuming that already has been announced. Let's see here, because I have lots of ideas. So we need some historicals in the mix. I don't necessarily like how Renegade does kind of more themed boxes. I've always enjoyed how Heroscape was kind of a grab bag in the boxes, how you have, you know, snipers and like just snipers and viper. You know, you'd have like, there was more wordplay, but there was no thematic connection betwixt the two. So commons that we need, it'd be a lot of historicals, I'd say. It'd be like The Past Beckons or something like that. So we would have a common squad of Ular following Zulu warriors. And then they would have Elven. I talked about this in one of my videos. They would have Elven. And in the context of me releasing this, I assume that contemporary Scape is accessible. I'm not like just purely marketing. This is purely just wish fulfillment. Like, if I could release Wave 10 and go back in the past to make that, like, this is what I would do. So I would do like Elven like mages, like where they just, as a common squad of Elven mages that help the Elven wizards. They pretty much, you know, do that, and you can call the box Warriors and, you know, Warriors and Wizards is a pretty basic name, but it works. It would be catchy. It would sell billions. Spartans would be pretty cool. Spartans. I feel like then I would add, I was going to say Vipers, but we have new Vipers, which I'm happy with. So then the next box would be, not Spartan. I feel like Spartans would be, okay, so for a unique box, it would be Spartans. And I would then add Heroscape goblins to the mix, which is what I want to see. Not D&D goblins, but we create our own Heroscape goblins from Grut to give Grut a bit more. And so I said goblins, and what was the other thing I said? Oh, yeah, goblins and some like, I would like some form of like demons, like French Legionnaires would be pretty cool. There's a bunch. I am currently scripting one for my my like wanted historical videos, and I'm actually, what I decided to do is print all my desired units and paint those. So that is in the works. That's a big one I'm working on. French Legionnaires would be pretty good. I would honestly rather have French Resistance from like World War II, just for something spicy and different. It could be it could be Resistance and Retreat, or is the name of the pack, which I think would be kind of fun. Like, these goblins work with the orcs. They kind of be like really mischievous. They would be like the Tinkerers of Grut, and they would like explode and have little cannons, and they would just be like little annoying guys in the field. But they wouldn't be like D&D goblins. And then the hero pack, I have a lot of interesting ideas. So this is going in my historical, but I think we need Amelia Earhart in the game. And I think she should be, I'm open to either Fyorlag or Jandar as a champion, because she was called the champion of the skies. So we have like an Amelia Earhart proxy. She can be riding, like, since we have blimps, she has like a small little snub-nosed plane that she flies around. I think that would be awesome, having a pilot in the game. It's like kind of like the Krug-like figure of the pack. And then we would have some kind of Morrow Warlord, or some kind of new Ular Warlord. We would have the 9th Wizard. We would have a Morrow that is it's very, very much like a hybrid Morrow Kyrie as a hero. He's a flying unit. He would have appropriate squad. Would be kind of cool. And I'd say we have one more for sake of, would be another good fit in the mix. I think we don't have a lot of Vidar. I don't like Vidar as a general, so. Oh, Caveman. Yeah, Caveman's also on the list too. I want to see them. Oh yeah, Caveman, and now I'm all over the place here. But the last hero, I think I want to see. So I want Caveman and as a pack, as well as like a Mafia. So so it could be Dawn of Time and following the Dawn, or some kind of play on Dawn. Yeah, Morrow created from Kyrie DNA, I think would be a cool hero or squad. Just some flying Morrow in the mix. And what's a good one for Vidar? What's a good, just I don't know, some kind of shooty thing. I don't like Vidar that much, but I feel like he's missing. I don't know. Morrow Kyrie would blow my mind if it's all announced. Cool. Yeah, it's so like, it's bound to happen. Like, there's such a prominent force. I'm hoping Morrow return in some small doses, just for the fans that do love them. We're gonna get some Baron Dune. I'm sorry, I'm focused so much on this, I'm not even painting. I like brainstorming this kind of stuff though. But yeah, it's mainly historical stuff is the stuff I'm missing now. I was really happy when they announced Snakes, because I love Snakes, the Vipers. They announced a lot of stuff I was looking forward to with this wave. Maybe a Kyrie hero, like something to work with the Queen. Kyrian, I think, would be nice. All right, it's a bit more of an orangish. For the backing, we're gonna find an appropriately good color. I think we have a bit. I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm sorry, y'all. Soldiers in power suits. Maybe. I feel like we have a bunch of that. Like that. I think it would be cool to have like a agent commander, like a field commander for the microcorps, kind of a hero for them. I think would be really cool. Just because I like all squads having like some kind of hero representation. I would love like a elven warrior. It's like Queen Ashera or something like that, just to kind of go with that squad. Like bring back some of those kind of underused or overlooked stuff. Another squad, historical squad I would love to see is like the Onimusha, which are like pretty much they're Japanese female samurai that would kind of hold the back lines once the samurai soldiers fell, which I think there's a lot you can do with that power-wise. I want to see Macedonians and war elephants, as well as Persian camel riders. A Kyrie Prince would be really interesting. Some different tags besides warrior I would love to see. There's a bunch of stuff. The whole box is open now that we're in Age of Annihilation. I like a lot of the classic units. You know what, honestly, for the hero box, I think we need another Jandar Solborg. Something to fill in the gaps, like a really tanky frontliner, where he's just like, you know, kind of fills in that hold the line defense, and he bonds with repulsors. Okay, and for this we'll add a bit of black wash. Yeah, I would love Kyrie Princes and Ambassador. Like, I think the fact that we have so many Kyrie warriors and they're all kind of not good, I think we could branch out. Or I could see like maybe a Kyrie, another Einar Kyrie, which is kind of something we're greatly lacking. Like to make Kyova a bit more relevant. I'm just thinking of units that kind of are collecting dust that haven't been fixed by VC yet. Or that VC tried to fix and I'm not happy with. There's one more batch of historical units, so there's something from Egypt and Aztecs, yeah. The problem with Egypt is that like the wolves are so kind of tied to the Egyptian motifs that I feel like there's some crossover, but that's not saying I wouldn't be happy to have Egyptians there. I think if we can get a chariot rider somehow on the peanut base, I would be so happy to see that. Aztecs, I think there's lots of cool stuff. You know, you have some Jaguar warriors and all that stuff. I don't know if Aztecs would follow Aquila. I feel like they'd be more of an Einar squad, just because of their temperament. But I don't like Aquila just getting all the like tribalistic things. I feel like that kind of limits her theme a bit, and I think they could definitely spread that out a bit. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. There's a. Let me pull up. I have an active list I'm keeping here. Let's see if I missed anything. Because I'm distractible. And I'm waiting for paint dry. But yeah, I didn't really explain this very well, but you put the black wash on, it'll settle, and then you just kind of fill in the darkened layers with that brown we used. And there you have a fairly convincing spider. A little black on the mandibles. Let me just pull some stuff up here. Okay, so these are the current historicals I have that I want to see. I want some Neanderthals, cavemen, Amelia Earhart, French resistance, some Macedonians with war elephant. So there's a Persian army called the Lost Army of Cambyses, which was a camel infantry that got lost in North Africa on one of their campaigns. Zulus, the Onamusha, who I mentioned before, mobsters. One I would love to see is winged hussars. I think they would just have really cool models on the field. And Boudica, I think would be, or Boudica, however you pronounce that, the ancient Gaelic queen, would be really, really cool. I know there's much more I'm looking to see. I do like the new designs, pull a bit of the VC designs through. I really like certain VC units, but don't love the models. I definitely agree with that. I think there's some really cool powers and some really bad models. Are these repaints or 3D print spiders? These right here are 3D prints. I wish I was wealthy enough to have this many spiders to repaint. This is an official one for reference. Roguescaper will single-handedly revive NGC. No, thank you. I liked NGC, but mainly because I gotta sit in a corner and paint little guys. I think there is a space in the customs for. I wish they would use 3D models more. Because a lot of the classic models themselves are hard to find in their own right. The classic VC models. We're using this black brown for this cape as well. We are kind of creating a center of this darkness, and we're going to create some varying tones and textures for this cape. There's many ways to paint capes, again, just speed paint it and dry brush is an easy way just to do it as well. I will never fault anyone for using easy, effective techniques on their models. All right, and then we're gonna get some leather brown and do more of a lighter outer layer. Because if you look at like fur cloaks and fur on animals, it's rarely just one single solid color. It's usually modeled with different hues and tones. And usually actually the lighter fur is more on the exterior, and inner fur is more darker. So well, it's we're at 11 o'clock. I've been talking. We might be ending here pretty soon. I think I'm running out of steam. Not focus too much on the painting. And then we're kind of dabbing this lighter color. Kind of overlapping and creating some subtle blends. Main thing here is to make sure your paints are appropriately thinned down. As you don't want to get this part too clogged up with the details, but you also don't want them showing through, the white underneath showing through and making it look rather patchy. I forget for cloaks, if we're doing this, probably we'll do this tone as well for the end here. This is Leather Brown I'm painting on the cloak from Army Painter. All right. And now we're gonna grab a bit of, we'll grab a bit of ivory and mix that up with some of that flesh tone to create this nice kind of warm off-white. And we're just gonna kind of do this on the outside here. We'll definitely be fine-tuning this in a bit. The great thing about fur coats is you don't have to be precise and accurate, because fur is always kind of all over the place. Okay, so I'm personally gonna wait for this to dry. We're gonna put a brown wash over this and then do a yellowish brown for highlights. We're gonna fill in the rest of these details. Let me paint the head real fast here. Just gonna thin down some black. So it just kind of goes on like a glaze. We of course will work to separate this. We got a lot of detail work to do, but we get the broad strokes largely finished today. Got the staff to do, but for the most part, we're getting to a pretty good stopping point here. This is how we're looking really cool. We haven't even added any highlights. The underlayer, since we kept our paints then, is just adding a bit of dimensionality to it. Looking forward to adding a bit of highlights to the faces and the horns, and just doing some busy work on all the very many details. We'll really start to make this thing pop and come alive. We got some spots we're missing, but for the most part, you know, for an hour and 40 minutes, with me distractedly talking and painting other things, I'm happy with our progress. So I think we are gonna stop it there for tonight. I can honestly, let me just make sure I'm still on. Okay, I can honestly save this for another stream. I can paint this later and do the next steps. Or I can just paint this off screen and show the finished project. You can all let me know as I shut things down real fast. I'm happy to do whatever. If you're interested in learning how to go beyond the base layers, we can definitely dive more into that. If not, I definitely will record it and make a video about it someday. Definitely subscribe if you aren't. We're trying to get to 1,000 just to beat Hexala first, is my goal. We're in a race now, and so be sure to subscribe and like the video. And definitely let me know if you want to see anything done. I'm keeping a tab of all the stuff people want. And I'd love to make some videos in the coming months on that stuff. But regardless, happy Scape-Oween and happy actual Halloween. It's been a fun month of spooky goodness, and we'll have some late spooky arrivals following in November and Scape-Oween after party. It was a fun time this year, and it was great chatting to you all. So you all take care. I'd love to see the finished product. Perfect. Maybe I'll just work on it on my own time and post it later. Awesome. You all take care. Bye.